So I am Zoe. I am talking today around finding your edge in AI-driven marketing. And I will be talking through tactics, tracking, and work that works with kind of real examples there as well. So just a little bit about myself. Sorry, is it showing?
Yes, we can see it.
Oh, perfect. Um, so in this talk, a little bit about me. So I'm Zoe. I've got 5 years in digital marketing experience. I started out in the 2020 lockdown, and I've got experience in social, paid social, PR and media. So I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades. From that, I kind of came to boutiques marketing agency, which is a marketing agency in Leeds in 2023 to pursue my passion and specialize in SEO because that was where my passion lies. So that's around search engine optimization, so helping websites to rank in Google and in LLMs. So a little bit about what we do. So we are a series of experts. So brands will come to us and say, rather than doing the marketing in-house, they want to use an agency. So we have a lot of different disciplines that we work across, and we have experts in each area. So as I said, I'm the SEO expert at our agency. We also have influence partnerships. We have media team who look at media buying and planning, so getting people on TV and working with media buyers and the likes of ITV and Channel 4, Channel 5 to get on there for adverts. Paid digital, so as part of the digital team that I'm in, we also do paid social and paid Google and Bing promotions and a lot of strategy as well. So we'll help businesses with their marketing strategies. A little bit of who we work with, so just some examples there. So you might have heard of some of these. We are a home specialist agency. That is where our specialism lies. But we do also work across some brands such as like Cost Cutter, Neil and Wolf, beauty brands, and we've got a lot of student accommodation brands as well that we work with at the moment. I did a talk recently for Leeds Digital Tech Fest, and my talk was all around AI. And one of the questions that I got a lot after the talk was around what is AI going to steal my job? Am I concerned about that? With it being able to do a lot of the things that we do? My kind of answer to that is no. So AI isn't replacing marketing, it's making it more efficient. So my job isn't being taken. We work as an agency where clients pay for their hours. So if I can spend my time more efficiently doing tasks such as if I can write content quicker, if I can come up with ideas quicker and use it in that way, it's a lot more efficient, and I can spend more time on the strategic side of things. So around the led strategy there. And AI, it's revolutionizing the sector. So you might have seen it's kind of blown up. I think it was like the word of the year in the Oxford Dictionary at the start of the year. But yeah, so 32% of marketing organizations, they're already fully implementing AI and using it across their disciplines. 70% of marketers, they expect AI to play a larger role, so they're expecting it to be in the business more and more and more and more people to be using it. The AI marketing sector is expected to be worth nearly 170 billion by 2034, so it is growing. It's more crucial than ever. It's around to stay. So how can you use AI in marketing? So I thought I'd go around some of the ways that you might be using it, if you come into doing marketing, and some of the ways that kind of we're using it as well from used experience. So content creation and ideation. So some of the ways that we kind of use it is with help writing blog posts, emails and social media captions. So just on that, so I had a client where I was using it to help me write content about lockers, and it started hallucinating, did ChatGPT, and it started telling me about radios rather than lockers. So it can't be trusted. You can't just put the content in there and just use it and get the content, put it out on site. Has to be human reviewed. It has to have some sort of human input don't just copy and paste it in. You need to look over it, you need to check that it's all great. You can use it to brainstorm ideas. So kind of if you have an idea but not you're not sure of kind of where to go with it. So in terms of if you were thinking of a marketing campaign, for example, you could have the idea, pop it into ChatGPT and be like, how can I make this better? Like, what things should I be thinking about if I did this? When it comes to SEO, we do a lot of keyword research, so helping brands rank for certain keywords. So appearing in Google without someone having to pay for it, for example, for I don't know, luxury kitchens. So I could then go to ChatGPT, send it my list of keywords, and kind of help get it to help me come up with ideas around that for content that we could write to rank for these. It also helps with if you've already written the content. So if you've already written a blog, you could use AI to help you then repurpose that content across different channels. So you could use it to change a blog into a social media post. It can help you do that rather than it's just speeding up the process of tasks. It can also help you get guidance on tone, keywords, and more. So, one of the ways that I personally have used it and that we're using it across the agency, we've set up chat GPTs that remember the tone of voice of each of our clients. So then, if I'm writing something, rather than just putting it into the standard chat GPT and asking chat GPT to check it over, I can then put the content that I've written into these trained chat GPTs and it'll say, oh no, actually, like this isn't exactly the tone of voice we'd recommend you doing this instead. So it's just a really useful tool. It's kind of seeing it as kind of that little assistant that can help you out. In terms of video and image creation, again, like this is something that we're getting asked about a lot when we're speaking to clients, is how can we create images? It's helpful sometimes if you need like a really, really specific image. So, for example, rather than for a client that's selling radiators, for example, rather than just having a social post that's just got a picture, generic product picture of a radiator, it can help us put it into different settings without actually having to do it. So again, it's time saving. You can change the images into different formats, so you could ask it to change it into an ad banner. Again, just saving on that design time and personalizing images for different audiences so it can be used across. Another kind of example of me using that is in a presentation I did recently. I wanted an image, so I had a vision, and the vision was that I wanted to create kind of a story between Google and ChatGPT and to illustrate like how they were both used. And to illustrate that, rather than me spending hours kind of researching and putting those images together myself, I asked ChatGPT to create the images for that story with me, and I made like a comic book storyboard from that. So it's great. It's not kind of holding you back in terms of creativity. It can actually help you propel that. It can also help with personalization at scale. So it can give you unique recommendations. It can kind of tailor stuff around different people. So kind of a large example of that is Spotify Wrapped. So that uses AI technology to then personalize to each individual person on a much, much, much smaller scale. It's really helpful in PR. Often publications get more pickup if we personalize the emails to different PR people that are picking up the PR publications. So we can tailor the emails to each person and help with that personalization process without then having to literally rewrite each email. Data analysis and insights, so we can analyze data sets to spot patterns that humans would miss. Again, like with the keywords, I can put them in there and get them to classify them. So if I had a load of kitchen keywords, I can get them to classify them into luxury kitchens, red kitchens, blue kitchens, and then kind of that then helps with my content strategy, which I go away and write up the content for blue kitchens to rank for luxury kitchens, to rank for blue kitchens. And we can use it in paid as well. So our ad team use a tool called Performance Max. So you can kind of personalize your ads around like the customers that are most likely to convert and get that out there. So the people that are most likely to buy your product, you can use that AI technology there. So how do you stand out? So one of the ways that you can do this is kind of show that you understand it. So that's the first step. You need to show that you understand not just what AI is, but how it's kind of working in marketing. So when I'm talking about AI, I'm talking about a lot of tools. We call them large long language models, so such as ChatGPT, Google AI Mode, Gemini. More people are using them more than ever. So for example, in April, in 2 months, it's the amount of weekly active users has doubled. Brands are wanting to be mentioned on these popular channels, so they need to be where the tools are finding their information. So they need to be where these tools are looking at and gathering their information from. And that's how AI is serving people. So if you ask it for a recommendation, the way I've learned is by scouring the web for these recommendations. So if you can kind of control that and be where these LLMs are searching, then that can help you control that narrative. And the power of authenticity is crucial as well. So it's kind of the other side to it. So in a world where we're being served constant AI, people want to see real people. So when people they can't taste, they can't touch, they can't trial any products. They rely on real people to tell them how it feels. Especially like when shopping online, they need to know how the product is without actually physically being able to see it in person. So influencer marketing is becoming more popular than ever. That is our offering for influencer marketing with brands coming to us asking for it has absolutely rocketed recently. So we're seeing people are wanting authenticity as well as AI on different channels. So start experimenting, just have a go. So I've listed some of the free tools and ideation tools. We'll obviously share these slides afterwards, but you can use tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Google AI Mode. Have a play around, like see what content you can create from that. Ask it different prompts. You can ask it, one of the ways that we kind of use it as well is asking it to give us a prompt. So you could say to it, I'm wanting this thing. Can you tell me how to ask for this thing in the right way? Another kind of way that we've been using it as well is asking it to do something and then saying, right, make this better. What do you need from me to make this better? What do you need? And just continuing asking those questions and pushing it. Free image generation tools, so you can use ChatGPT, you can use Gemini. I think on ChatGPT and Gemini, you're restricted on the amount of images that you can do a day, but it's still worth having a play. Like you've got that couple of times to use it, just have a play around. Research around Google Performance Max, as I mentioned, as that paid tool, and as well like HubSpot AI, because if you go into marketing, these are the tools that you might need to have experience on. So if you come in and speak to an employer and say, look, I've looked at this, it looks great. Grow your experience. So create an AI assisted portfolio project. Talk through kind of what you've done and how you've used it. Have a look around data storytelling. So that is in, especially in the digital department, that's a massive part of my job that I have to do. So look around like free courses, Google Analytics, Looker Studio, get to grips with that because if employers think, oh, you've already got experience in doing that, that's literally one of the things that you list down on your CV as things that you've got experience in. You can also follow these marketing and AI newsletters and creators. So there's like Superhuman, there's Zapier on there that you can follow. And I guess one of the most important things is just showing that you're the expert on it. Get to grips with it, find out what it is, and find out what it does, what it can do for you, and kind of get to grips with those tools. So as I said earlier, like if you do create things like the AI assisted portfolio, show the process of that. So they love seeing how you think, like what thought process you went through before you got to that. Join the conversation so you can share projects, you can share prompts and experiments on LinkedIn and TikTok. Join that conversation. People will comment on that. And you can have like full-blown conversations about an idea that you've had. Collaborate. So again, there's a lot of like online creative challenges, especially on LinkedIn, around like how you can use an image and manipulate it, for example, and blend tools with intuition. So if you're thinking constantly about what you're doing rather than using AI to guide that thinking and pushing it, as I said, asking it and asking it and asking it, um, those people that do that will be the ones that can kind of lead and stand out. So I guess it's down to you now to kind of use your toolkit. So AI, it's already changed your marketing. As I said, they're expecting, I think the start was 170 billion is going to be generated through marketing by AI marketing by 2034. So it's still in its infancy, really. So kind of get ahead of that, get to grips with it. Start using practical tools and those workflows now. There's never too early to start looking at them and kind of build your personal edge and creative confidence around that. But I guess the most important thing is to remember that human insight is your superpower. So empathy, creativity, cultural awareness, and combining that with AI, it's not gonna take my job because I have these things that I can use, and so can you. Um, a little bit of shameless promotion. I have added in my LinkedIn QR code if you would like to scan, just to give if you want to join that conversation on there, as I said. But yes, if you've got any questions, I will stop sharing my screen now.
Yeah, if we've got any questions in the chat, give us a shout. But thank you so much, Zoe. That was great. I've actually got a couple of questions that I thought's probably worth explaining
Okay.
potentially. Um, so I think one of the things that people don't always know with AI is like you actually train it to you, don't you? Because we've got
Yeah,
an AI sort of agent, and like we don't have to put in the branding for Creative Alliance and the tone anymore because it already knows it. We
yeah.
spent a long time training it and kind of saying these are our brand guidelines, these are our website, this is how we like to speak, this is how we do it. And now when we say can you do me a paragraph on safeguarding or something like that? It knows how to do it for us. So, I think I don't think people realize that. And things like Microsoft Copilot, you literally create agents that you train to do certain things, don't you? It's a bit like having a pet, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it is tailoring it around you. I guess it's putting in the effort first of all to create these personalized versions of it. Like I say, like with the tools that we've trained in different personas for the different clients with the different tone of voice. Yes, it takes a couple of hours to set up that, but once you've done that, it just pays off in itself. That time you'll save once, twice 100 times over in the months that follow. If you put in that time first, kind of personalizing it, there's lots of articles online, and I mean, you can ask the source, which is the beautiful thing. You can literally ask it how to do things, and how the best way to do things is. When I said before about kind of using it to crawl as well, so like look at the way that AI learns is looking at other publications and websites online. You can ask it which ones it looks at and which ones to get on. So you can ask the source to do that and just use it to help you as much as you can.
The source is really useful. We have to report back to a large employer of lots of apprentices about the data. It's quite laborious. I have to put a presentation together and the admin team update the spreadsheet. And I literally have created an agent that say, create me a presentation for this client. And it just goes, doodle-doodle, and I go, cool, send it
Yeah.
off. I don't have to do it anymore. I do check it. Please check it. Please check it.
Yeah.
We have found some real like results and gone, that is wrong. So yeah, that's a big thing. I've got a question here. So I can't actually see the name on it, but with AI changing the industry so fast, how do you keep up and use it to your advantage?
I guess one of the ways is, as I said about those newsletters, so signing up to things like that. I'm checking AI news literally every day to see what's coming through. So it's getting that knowledge of the industry and how it's impacting that literally every day, just on a morning, just having a look, seeing in the AI marketing news if anything new's coming out, if it's doing anything else. So for example, when Google brought out AI mode. That's obviously announced on websites first of all. Google will announce that. It's looking out for these things and keeping an eye out. So that's kind of how you keep up with it. And then as I said, like it's spending that time looking around, like how you can actually use it and spending that time at first. Oh, we can do this thing. This is how we can do it. And then it then saves time in future and putting it into practice.
Yeah, and I think this is a great time to do it because we're at such a foundational stage as well. Once you've learned how to do this, any advancement on this is just you still know the building blocks. It's a bit like
Yeah.
when websites first came out and you had your sort of stack development and understanding how kind of stack worked and how a website functions, you don't actually need to know that anymore because there's things that sit on top that you just go and design it up.
Yeah.
Actually, if you know that when something goes wrong, you can go, well, I know that's not working because it's not doing this, and so I think at the moment you learn the basics of the AI and the kind of training it and things like that, and that will be the foundation building blocks for anything beyond
Yeah.
this now. So
I
yeah.
guess, like you say as well, it's kind of experimenting on your own and getting to used to how it's progressing in that field and progressing yourself by doing that. So putting things in and being like, how can I do this better next time? How can I do this? It's kind of like bettering yourself at the same time as AI growing, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah. And I think they're a good sounding board sometimes, like when you can't think of something, hit a wall.
Yeah.
You mentioned a bit about data storytelling. Would you be able to explain what that means? I'm just curious.
Yeah, of course. So it's kind of like what is the data showing us? So I guess as you said about like using AI to pull them presentations and looking over it afterwards, it's the same sort of thing. So for example, if in my role, if I'm seeing that a lot of people are coming from Google, or like organically without the paid ads, and I'm seeing a massive spike there. I could just be like, oh, there's this massive spike. You need to look into kind of what it's doing. And these tools like Looker Studio, like Google Analytics, they've got and Google Search Console, they have these insights buttons at the side which can help you do that and work out what's going on there. Like if there's a certain page that's doing really well, and then it's just constantly asking yourself, and what, like what does that mean? So what? And asking yourself with that. And AI can help you with that because you can ask it things like, right, I've pulled this. What, like, help me. So what? But yeah, I guess it's using those tools when I say about the data storytelling, it's using those tools to kind of investigate things that you see rather than just spotting something and being like, oh, this is this. It's why is that? Why is that happening? It can help you there with those insight buttons on there.
And I think also remember things like websites and insights and stuff. It sounds like really professional tools, but websites, you probably do have to cost to do one, but it's not a lot of money. We're probably talking about 15 to 16 quid a
Yeah.
year. Um, and then building the website and then having those insights and putting those in, that's all free. Most of the Google tools are free.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
lot of free courses on that as well, like on Looker Studio on Google Analytics. Um, I guess like in marketing, that's what a lot of employers are looking for.
it is, yeah. And I think start now with the AI stuff because ChatGPT is free and it's a lot of fun.
I was going to ask Zoe, thank you so much for that. Because we've got lots of students who, are still at school and they might not know what a marketing brief is, or, do you think you could give them just like an idea of like a project that they could be working on themselves, or sorry, for themselves on AI
Yeah, of
as
course.
like a bit of a marketing brief set by you? Do you know what I mean? That they could like a bit of homework they could do.
Yeah, of course. So from the marketing, so we'll get clients coming to us and being like, right, this is my problem. I have, so we'll use like the home sector. I keep going to kitchens. So we have these kitchens. We've got this big pot of money. This is how much money we've got. Help us sell them through marketing. What channels should I be using? So should I be using social media? Should I be using paid advertising? You could make up a problem for them. So you could have, for example, if they were wanting to go into the luxury kitchen space, but there's a lot of competitors there. How do they stand out? How do they do that? So you could be kind of looking at that if you wanted something to work on. You can make up kind of, you could even go with that one. You could have a luxury kitchen brand that's struggling to get their name out there, struggling with people buying their products. And how do you help them sell that through marketing, through things like social media, email, SEO, so helping get further up on Google in the when you type anything into Google, getting high up without people paying to be there. Um, and have a go at that.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I know we've got lots of teachers on as well. So that's something that they could set in their classrooms as like a little brief and get students using AI to help with the research. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
Perfect.
I think you're free to go, really, Zoe. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I haven't got any more questions. And actually, one thing, sorry, I do have one
Yeah.
more. What should you not do at AI? I will give you one thing, which is I don't mind people use AI to apply for jobs. I get it, but like personalize it. I just
Yeah,
it's obvious.
100%. I guess I wouldn't just use it without checking over it first. Like I said with the locker and the radio, hallucination, where it started just randomly talking about radios. So I wouldn't use it for that. There's a lot around data protection in there as well, so don't just randomly like throw in names and like wouldn't put in like the names of your classmates and things like that. Like I just wouldn't. So
Yeah,
just be careful with what you put in there and kind of what it remembers.
just to give you an idea how ChatGPT learns on a global level is it saves everything you put up.
Yes.
So for instance, we couldn't use ChatGPT for like recruitment and putting up people's applications because obviously it's got personal information. It shares it globally. It doesn't share it globally, it just retains it, whereas you can have private large language models. So that's very important actually. It also doesn't know how many R's are in strawberry. To do a check. I think it's sorted itself out, but for a long time, AI could not work out how many R's are in strawberry.
It uses a lot of American language as well.
Yeah, the Z.
Yeah,
Look out.
always.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
should do a
guys.
non-AI checklist. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you so much.